Have some warmer temperatures on the way.
We do today, and coming up to the rest of the week, we have a lot more warm weathers coming up. It kind of feels like spring is finally here.
It does, yeah.
Let's take a look at our first alert weather forecast. Happy Tuesday, everybody. We're going to see an amazing week ahead of us. We're on a warming trend as we get towards the end of the week. A little bit of a breezy conditions, but they're lowering as we're going, and we've got some hot temps on the way. Very exciting. It's going to feel like spring by this week and maybe even summer into the weekend. Very excited about it. Let's talk about the daily planner. We're starting today in the mid 40s and reaching the late 60s in Yakima. In the Tri-Cities, going to be reaching the 70-degree mark. We're seeing a lot of sun and a lot of clouds this entire week long, and in the Walla Walla area, 48 into 66 degrees. Beautiful conditions coming up. I'll have more on my full forecast coming up.
The Washington State Legislature just wrapped up its 2023 session, but lawmakers couldn't come to an agreement on a law regulating drug possession. Washington had a drug possession law, but the state Supreme Court overturned it in 2021. We've had a temporary fix since then, but as Cap KVU's Emily Goodell reports, that's not going to last much longer.
The state's stopgap measure on drug possession is set to end on July 1st. And if there's not a fix before then, the decision is going to be taken out of the hands of state lawmakers and into the hands of cities and counties.
Local communities decide. Yakima will say, this is what we want to do with our drugs in Yakima. Seattle, King County will say, this is what we want to do.
Where your punishment might depend on what side of the county line you're on.
From some counties that may just say, nah, we're fine. We're just going to legalize drugs. We're not going to worry about it. To counties that are going to say, no, absolutely not. We're not going to allow that in our communities. And if you get caught, you're going to get hammered.
The money is also an issue.
Because now we're not going to be able to get the drugs tested through the state crime lab. It's not funded through the state, therefore, how do we pay for the testing of these drugs at the county level?
That's why they want state lawmakers to go back to the table and come up with a better solution. One that gives people the chance to go to treatment first, but that punishes them if they don't follow through.
The ultimate goal is to get people off drugs if they're on them. That's it. They're not bad people, but they're going to need help, incentive. And so law enforcement across the state has been begging the legislature, please give us some tools.
Lawmakers say they're supposed to go back to the table to negotiate in a couple of days. And if they can figure out a solution, come up with a new bill, the governor will be able to open a special session for them to vote on that before the issue comes to a head in July. Reporting, Emily Goodell, Cap KVU Local News.
This morning, Governor Inslee is expected to sign a series of historic gun control bills into law. These are proposals that the governor has requested in some cases for years. House Bill 1240 is the assault weapons ban. Then there's Senate Bill 5078, which would make it easier for victims of violence to sue gun makers and sellers. And the governor is also expected to sign the controversial House Bill 1143, which would require safety training and a 10-day waiting period before you can buy a gun. That's expected later this morning at 10 o'clock. A 24-year-old woman is in jail after Yakima police say she killed a man at an apartment complex Sunday. Police say they got a call about an unresponsive man at an apartment on North 9th Street and found 26-year-old Hector Felix dead. 3 women were reportedly there during the incident and called 911, but the 24-year-old was the one arrested. Investigators say they're still looking into the details, but it doesn't appear to be a case of domestic violence.
They indicated that there had been an argument at the apartment, which resulted in what appears as Mr. Felix being strangled by a garment, possibly a hoodie.
The 24-year-old is being held in the Yakima County Jail and is facing charges of second-degree murder and second-degree assault. A teenager found dead on Benton County Railroad tracks early yesterday morning. According to the Benton County Sheriff's Office, a train conductor found a body Monday morning around 5:30. The Benton County coroner confirmed that it was 19-year-old Colette Tips out of Kennewick. BCSO detectives are investigating, and preliminary reports say she was struck by an earlier train. though the cause of death is still under investigation. This happened off of Badger Road and 823 Prairie Southeast in Benton County. The train was blocking the crossing after discovering the body. The road has since reopened. The Washington State Court of Appeals Division heard oral arguments outside of its regular Spokane courtroom during a community visit to Pasco. The public was invited to Chiawana High School Monday morning to ask questions about the role of the Court of Appeals during Q&A sessions. As Cap KVU's Riley Fitzgerald reports, this is the first time they've come to Chiawana.
Students don't often get a chance to watch the court system work right in front of their eyes, especially outside of a courtroom. But on Monday at Chiawana High School, judges, lawyers, and the whole ensemble came out to the auditorium. It's a program that's been paused for a couple of years, which has just recently launched back up.
Judge Pinnell reached out to us probably back in January and said that the District Court of Appeals has been hosting or going into schools and hosting hearings inside school settings a couple years prior to COVID kind of pausing everything. And so they're just getting back into the swing of things.
The Court of Appeals Division 3 got the chance to get out of its typical Spokane courtroom and do business at Chiawana High. As part of a community visit, the Court of Appeals heard cases and oral arguments in a forum accessible to students.
Give an opportunity for our kids to see this process, and being that's a little bit different court system than what we're historically used to knowing with the jury and everything, how the appeal court works.
The audience got to ask questions about the role and operations of the Court of Appeals during a questions and answering period after watching real case hearings. One of the handful of cases that were heard Monday was even out of Franklin County.
And then to hear from the judges and the attorneys where they kind of came from, which I appreciated, because I know a lot of times people think, oh, I want to be a lawyer or go into that field. It's schooling for 8 to 10 years.
Chiawana High School Principal Jaime Morales explains that's not always the case.
You just start with what you're interested in, get a well-rounded education, and from there, if you decide you want to go that route, you just pursue that.
He wanted to encourage the students that just because it seems hard doesn't mean it's impossible. In Pasco, Riley Fitzgerald, Cap KVU Local News.
According to Chiawana Principal Jaime Morales, Pasco High School students were invited to this event, but they would have liked to also invite students from the surrounding school districts to get this experience as well. Riley Fitzgerald is here with us now to take another look at your weather forecast.
100%. It's looking beautiful outside. We've got beautiful conditions. It's finally starting to feel like spring is here as we heat up into the rest of our week. I'll have more of your conditions in just a few minutes.
Plus, the Seattle Kraken hosted Game 4 of their Stanley Cup playoff matchup against the Colorado Avalanche last night. We'll have the details from Climate Pledge Arena when we come back.
STCU and Cap KVU Local News honor local volunteers by sharing their stories and donating $1,000 to their favorite charities. To nominate someone who's making a difference in Benton and Franklin counties, click on contests and promotions at yaktrynews.com.
Did you know the most common mosquito in our area can travel 5 to 8 miles? Here at Benton County Mosquito Control, our objective is to provide effective mosquito control for your home, neighborhood, and community. Our friendly mosquito control technicians use mosquito population monitoring, educational programming, and a variety of field techniques to reduce mosquitoes in your area. Reduce areas of standing water around your home to help control mosquitoes. For more help, give us a call or visit us online at www.mosquitocontrol.org. Benton County Mosquito Control, where your comfort and health become a priority.
At Mattress Depot USA, we believe everyone is entitled to a good night's sleep regardless of their credit situation. That's why we're approving everyone for up to $1,200 towards the purchase of a new mattress with no credit needed. You spend a third of your life in bed, and a comfortable mattress is essential for providing quality of life. $3,000 credit, 100-day savings cash with no credit needed. Only at Mattress Depot USA.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
We've been married for 47 years.
Because we're in the building business, I would say what's been really unique about Yakima Federal is the integrity and the trust that we built with them.
If they don't have the answer, they get the answer for you. Their friendliness and their willingness to work with you.
It's just a very friendly relationship. Not being a number, you got real people you can walk in and talk to. Absolutely fantastic. I'm David, and my wife Teresa, and we've been a customer of Yakima Federal since we moved to Yakima 30 years ago.
When you own a Ford, you get more than a vehicle. you get the benefit of having your vehicle picked up for service.
Here for the Explorer. There you go. All right, we'll get it right back to you.
This is U-Mode.
All the convenience of owning a Ford with a local partner. Corwin Ford Tri-Cities.
Denzel versus the Mafia. Next Extra, we've got the Oscar winner's new interview about taking his hit Equalizer franchise to Southern Italy and checking up on his good friend Jamie Foxx. Next Extra.
Tonight at 7:30 on Cap KView. The awesome Hiawatha Trail. Fly the Northwest tonight at 6.
Welcome back. The Seattle Kraken and the Colorado Avalanche faced off at Climate Pledge Arena last night in Game 4 of their Stanley Cup playoff matchup. The Kraken came into Monday night's game behind in the series, 2-1, and they would strike first in this one, jumping to a quick 2-0 lead in the first period behind goals from Will Borgen and Daniel Sprong. But the second period belonged to the defending Stanley Cup champions, as the Avalanche managed to put 2 goals on the board to tie the game. The game would stay tied all the way into overtime, where a golden goal from Jordan Eberle iced the game for Seattle and tied up the series at 2 apiece. A career minor league baseball player finally got his call up to the big leagues on Sunday after a 13-year wait. Drew Maggi was drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates in the 15th round of the 2010 Major League Baseball draft, but never played a big league game. He played for various Triple and AA teams across the U.S. before eventually returning to Pittsburgh in 2022 and re-signing in 2023. The Pirates called him up from their AAA affiliate Altoona Curve for Sunday night's game against the Reds, but he didn't see the field. But Maggi says he's been waiting 13 years for that first pitch, and he'll be ready. There's no telling when he might get into a game or if he will still be on the roster, but the Pirates' next game is against the LA Dodgers later today. The NFL Draft is later this week, and hundreds of workers are getting ready for the big event in Kansas City, Missouri. They are hanging banners and putting the final touches on the makeshift stage in front of Union Station. The draft kicks off Thursday night and will run through Saturday. The Carolina Panthers have the first pick, and some speculate the Panthers will select a quarterback. If so, it would mark the first time Carolina has picked a QB in the first round since Cam Newton was the team's top pick in 2011. After Carolina makes its choice, Houston, Arizona, Indianapolis, and Seattle will round out the top 5 selections. And you'll be able to see every name called in the 2023 NFL Draft right here on Cap KView. Round 1 begins Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific. Round 2 starts Friday at 4 p.m. And round 3 kicks off bright and early Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Coming up, a new federal mortgage law may actually penalize borrowers with a good credit score. And Riley Fitzgerald will return with a look at your First Alert forecast.
KFC's Wednesday Country Fried Steak Meal is a delicious value, complete with mashed potatoes with gravy, coleslaw, and a biscuit, all for the incredible price of just $5.99. Really, what's left to say? How about see you again next Wednesday? Country Fried Steak Meal, just $5.99, only at KFC.
Welcome to the Spectrum Lab, where we're bringing you the best in connectivity with Spectrum One.
Get Spectrum One with Spectrum Internet for $49.99 a month, plus advanced Wi-Fi, plus your first line of Spectrum Mobile Unlimited, free for 12 months. Call 833-823-4999.
Spectrum Internet delivers the fastest internet speeds in the nation, so you always have the speed you need for all your connected devices. This guy gets it.
Advanced Wi-Fi comes with state-of-the-art security and privacy, which automatically blocks online threats on all your devices. If it's connected, it's protected.
Plus, Spectrum Mobile gives you unlimited talk, text, and data on a reliable nationwide network.
At Spectrum, we're always working to bring you better ways to connect.
You think they noticed the orb? I think so. Get Spectrum One with Spectrum Internet for $49.99 a month, plus advanced Wi-Fi, plus your first line of Spectrum Mobile Unlimited, free for 12 months. Call 833-823-4999. Visit Spectrum.com or Spectrum Store today.
It was an old rail line. Now it's one of the most awesome treks in America.
Tunnels and the trestles. Wow.
The Hiawatha Trail. Fly the Northwest. Cap KView local news at 6 tonight.
At Vapiano, we invite you to slow down, enjoy the journey. Make a reservation today. Taste wine where it's created. Sample a variety of wines from Sauvignon Blanc, Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, and make it a day to remember. Vapiano Estates, Walla Walla.
I remember when you get a whole meal for $5.
Yeah, it was last Tuesday.
Oh.
And every Tuesday at A&W, where single Papa Burger combos complete with fries and a root beer cost just $5. The good old days are here again. A complete meal for just $5. Tuesdays only at A&W.
STCU and Cap KVU Local News continue to honor volunteers by sharing their stories and awarding their charities $1,000 each. If you know someone in Benton and Franklin counties who is making a difference and taking that extra step to make our communities better, please tell us about them today. Just click on Volunteers Count on the Contests and Promotions tab at yaktrynews.com for the STCU Volunteers Count nomination form. Volunteers Count from STCU and Cap KVU Local News.
Portion of Cap KVU sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier. Now, Cap KVU First Alert weather.
Well, good morning, everybody. Beautiful conditions outside. We're taking a look outside the Columbia Point Skycam in Richland. Beautiful sunrise over the morning commute. Let's take a look at your First Alert weather forecast. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Hope you're having an amazing day. We've been on a warming trend for the last couple weeks now, and we're finally starting to see some of the results of that. It's a little bit windy today. As we get into those hot temps, those winds might be a little bit appreciated. For our futurecast, we're seeing just beautiful conditions throughout our Tuesday, barely even cloudy across our day today. Into Wednesday, we are seeing a little bit of cloud coverage, but there is definitely nothing to complain about for the next couple days in our areas. For our wind outlook, we are seeing just a little bit of wind, staying around 10 degrees throughout the rest of our week, raising a little bit into our Sunday. Again, as our temperatures raise, we can definitely see them here on our temperature trend. We might appreciate those winds coming up. So we're staying around 70 degrees, which is actually our average. We've been seeing around 5 to 10 degrees below our average temps for the last couple weeks now, and we're finally getting to that point and definitely beyond it over the next couple days, definitely into our weekend. For our temperatures today, we are seeing around the upper 60s in the Yakima area. In the Mid-Columbia, we're staying around 70 degrees. And over in the Blues, we're staying in the mid-60s. Very nice across our conditions today. Definitely, they're going to be raising throughout the next couple days. For our temperatures tonight, we're seeing around 40s across all of our regions, just slightly cloudy as we get into tonight. For our 7-day forecast, around 69 degrees for Tuesday, staying in the upper 70s for the next couple days, and into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're seeing the 80-degree conditions. And a trend that we've been seeing for the last couple weeks is our Mondays, the start of our work weeks. Our temperatures drop down just a little bit. That's something we're seeing in Yakima. That's also something we're seeing in the Tri-Cities. Starting our Tuesday at 70 degrees, upper 70s for the next couple days, and into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 80-degree conditions. It's going to start to feel like spring, but also kind of start to feel like summer by the weekend. Again, dropping into our Monday conditions. Again, our overnight lows are staying just a little bit chilly, so you might still need a jacket on the way out of the house, but you can definitely drop it by midday. Back to you.
Thank you, Riley. We turn now to changes in the mortgage industry that could mean higher costs for home buyers with a good credit score and lower costs for those with a lower credit score. It's all because of a new federal rule. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has more.
It's a change many homeowners will find surprising. Beginning next month, some people with good credit scores may actually end up paying higher mortgage fees, while those with lower credit scores will pay less.
Because of these changes, the advantage of having a higher credit score or making a larger down payment is not as big as it used to be.
It's a new federal rule going into effect May 1st.
The change that the administration made is meant to make it easier for borrowers who have a lower credit score.
The goal is to boost affordable housing and provide more equitable access to homeownership.
The administration's stated purpose behind making these changes is to help make it easier for borrowers who have historically been disadvantaged and have had a hard time accessing credit.
First-time home buyers with credit scores ranging from 720 and 760, for example, could pay more under the new rule.
They could see an extra $2,600 on a mortgage of $350,000. It is real money, but not enough to break the bank.
Critics say the rule subsidizes homeowners who shouldn't be getting a mortgage in the first place.
It's another subsidy.
Experts say the biggest increases could be felt by those who put 15 to 20% down on a home.
You might choose to put down a somewhat smaller down payment, say 5% instead of 7%, and that might make a difference for you.
Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
The new rule also makes it more expensive for borrowers to refinance. The U.S. manufacturing industry could see layoffs this year now that the supply chain is running more smoothly. Wells Fargo economists predict companies should be caught up on the pandemic backlog in about 5 months. Meanwhile, demand is falling as consumers and businesses rein in their spending on manufactured goods. Surveys from the Institute for Supply Management show the sector already has been contracting for several months. Disney says it's laying off several thousand workers across the company this week. The cuts affect its Parks, Entertainment Division and Experiences and Products Division, as well as ESPN. This is the second of 3 waves of layoffs for a total elimination of 7,000 jobs. That's about 3% of Disney's global workforce. Chief Executive Bob Iger says the goal is to save $5.5 billion in costs. He says shareholders should start receiving dividend payments in February after a pandemic suspension. And Disney is temporarily suspending certain fire effects at shows at its resorts worldwide. It comes after a weekend blaze involving an animatronic dragon at Disneyland in California. On Saturday, the fire-breathing dragon Maleficent caught fire, prompting evacuations of the Tom Sawyer Island section of the park. Pyrotechnics are among the special effects featured in the long-running Fantasmic show at both Disneyland and Disney World. There were no injuries reported, and the cause of the fire remains under investigation. When we return on Good Morning Northwest, a new study shows that poor working conditions may have more of a negative impact on employees' mental health than we initially thought.
Let a Mattress Depot USA sleep specialist put you on the mattress that matches your sleeping habits.
Stop by today. You'll sleep better tonight.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
When it comes to supplying the farm, come to Northwest Farm Supply. Keep a flock healthy and happy with the largest selection of Purina around. Plus, all the equipment you need to keep the farm running right. And we have the best customer service. We really do. Northwest Farm Supply in Hermiston, Prosser, and Othello.
At the Blue Mountain Station Cooperative in Dayton, Washington, we offer you the Pacific Northwest's finest local products. Fresh baked goods, locally grown produce, artisan cheese, fresh roasted coffee, wine, honey, and so much more. We invite you to explore Dayton today.
Come shop the largest selection of RVs in the Tri-Cities at Appleway RV. Save big on Class A's, Class C's, travel trailers, toy haulers, and fifth wheels. Shop America's top brands, Rockwood, Tiffin, Newmar, Dynamax, and more. With a huge selection of pre-owned RVs. Plus, get maximum value for your trade. All with no payments for 90 days. Come shop the clearance event at Appleway RV Pasco.
Total Energy Management has been serving the Tri-Cities area with superior HVAC service for over 38 years. Our priority is to exceed consumer and client expectations with innovative Carrier products in a brand new facility with state-of-the-art equipment. It's time to beat the cold with Carrier's Cool Cash rebate of up to $1,750. Turn to the experts at Total Energy Management and save on your next home comfort system.
At Mattress Depot USA, we realize your top priority is to get a quality mattress at a great price.
And it never hurts to do business with someone local.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Live with Kelly and Mark today at 9 on Cap KView.
Working late nights, inflexible schedules, or having no paid sick leave can have a big impact on your mental health. That's according to a new report from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The CDC says about 1 in 37 working adults experienced serious psychological distress in 2021. Some experienced negative feelings so severe that it impaired social and occupational functioning and required treatment. According to the report, people working the night shift were twice as likely to report serious psychological distress than those on day shift. Rates of distress were also significantly higher among workers who did not have paid sick leave and those with inconsistent schedule and pay. Experts say a lack of control is at the heart of many of these work conditions linked to poor mental health. Depression might have you reaching for comfort food, and for many people that's something fried, but researchers are now saying that might actually make things worse. A research team in China found that eating fried foods, especially French fries, on a regular basis was linked to a higher risk of anxiety and depression. Now, with humans, it's not clear which came first, the depression or the fatty foods, but researchers actually looked at how fish responded to a chemical that forms when you deep fry something, especially potatoes. And they found that the fish exposed to that chemical were more likely to show signs of depression. Coming up, two major names in news now find themselves on the outs with their former networks. And we have a lot more news to share with you on our mobile app. You can use the camera on your smartphone to scan this QR code, which is also at the bottom of your screen throughout the show. The code will take you right to our app for news and weather on demand. It's free to download, and there is no subscription fee.
Shelter. Out here, it's the most important thing. But the good thing is, my Ford F-150 provides enough power to keep working.
Get a great deal on an F-150, only at your local Ford dealer.
Pure Filtration Products is your Inland Northwest air quality specialist. We offer filtration products for all your commercial, industrial, and manufacturing needs. From cooling towers to industrial dust collection systems, commercial buildings, schools, hospitals, or manufacturing facilities, we have you covered. Call today and schedule your free facility site evaluation. We'll send a certified air filter specialist to your site to evaluate your filter requirements. Call or click today. Pure Filtration Products.
Time for a new roof? Let Eminent Roofing replace it with the product so good you'll never have to replace it again. Our roofs come with the limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again.
With the rain and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Call today to receive 0% financing on approved credit.
So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
Tonight.
Why did he take her?
It's an epic new rookie crossover event.
In foot pursuit with FBI agents. We are running out of time.
With a race to rescue one of their own. Tonight, starting at 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Okay, I think we're all aware that most cell companies only give you the lowest price when you sign up for multiple lines.
What? Multiple lines?
Hello? Yeah, one sec. But US Cellular gives you just one line for $29.99 with unlimited data.
Just one line with unlimited data.
So you don't have to get more lines than you need.
No, you hang up.
Are you even listening, guy who never looks up from his phone?
Oh, not for me, I just say it.
Okay, so no, you're not listening.
Get one line for $29.99, plus every plan is price protected. US Cellular, built for us.
Cut your ties to the fuel pump with an all-electric vehicle from Overturf Kia. You'll find a great selection of new vehicles in stock now. A 2023 all-electric Kia EV6 Wind with all-wheel drive starts at just $54,135. Plus, get interest rates as low as 3.9% for 60 months. Take delivery today or reserve a car that's on its way. Shop online anytime at overturfkia.com. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
It's not every day that you can experience award-winning limited production wines selected by industry notables, plus receive advanced news regarding upcoming releases and events. Delight in the convenience of having wines delivered to your door as a member of the Coyote Canyon Wine Club.
That sound. Wolves. Boy, they sound hungry.
Load up, wolves!
Good thing this Ford Explorer has Sync 3 technology. Keeps them entertained on the way to dinner.
Get a great deal on an Explorer, only at your local Ford dealer.
The awesome Hiawatha Trail. Fly the Northwest tonight at 6.
A prominent Fox News host has now parted ways with the network in the wake of their $787 million defamation settlement. And the suspects arrested in connection to the shooting at an Alabama Sweet 16 party are set to make their first appearance in court today.
And we have a look at your morning conditions, your first alert forecast right now.
From Camp KVUE Local News, this is Good Morning Northwest.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Jill Sperling.
And I'm Riley Fitzgerald.
And Riley, spring is here and it finally feels like it.
Oh, it does start to feel like it right now. Beautiful conditions are on the way and maybe it's even going to feel a little bit like summer this weekend. Yeah. Let's get into that forecast. Happy Tuesday, everybody. We're going to see an amazing week ahead of us. We're on a warming trend as we get towards the end of the week. A little bit of a breezy conditions, but they're lowering as we're going, and we've got some hot temps on the way. Very exciting. It's going to feel like spring by this week and maybe even summer into the weekend. Very excited about it. Let's talk about the daily planner. We're starting today in the mid 40s and reaching the late 60s in Yakima. In the Tri-Cities, going to be reaching the 70-degree mark. We're seeing a lot of sun and a lot of clouds this entire week long. And in the Walla Walla area, 48 into 66 degrees. Beautiful conditions coming up. I'll have more on my full forecast coming up.
New this morning, President Biden has formally announced that he is running for re-election in 2024. In a video released on the 4-year anniversary of his first declaration for the White House, Biden asked for voters to give him more time to finish the job he began when he first took office. He also asked Americans to set aside their concerns about re-electing the United States' oldest president for another 4 years. We're learning more this morning about the exit of Fox News host Tucker Carlson. He reportedly got the news 10 minutes before it was made public. Here's ABC's Lionel Moise.
This morning, a new message from now former Fox News host Tucker Carlson, urging his fans to sign up on his website for text alerts to find out what he's up to next after the network suddenly announced his exit.
We have some news from within our Fox family. Fox News Media and Tucker Carlson have mutually agreed to part ways.
Fox providing no reason. The LA Times reports the decision came from the top from Fox chairman Rupert Murdoch after months of internal turmoil. Just last week, Fox settled a defamation lawsuit with Dominion Voting Systems over false election claims for nearly $800 million, a case that implicated Carlson and brought embarrassing text messages to light, in which he called management and colleagues at Fox pathetic. A former producer on his show also sued, claiming she was bullied and subjected to sexist and anti-Semitic comments. And the LA Times reports Carlson's coverage of the January 6th attack was also concerning to Murdoch.
They were peaceful, they were orderly and meek. These were not insurrectionists. They were sightseers.
Meanwhile, at CNN, anchor Don Lemon is out.
A lot to discuss
this morning. So good morning, everyone. Lemon tweeting that he's stunned, claiming he wasn't told directly by management, but CNN says Lemon was offered an opportunity to meet with management, but instead released a statement on Twitter. He had faced backlash for his comments about former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley's presidential run.
Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait.
Lemon was suspended in February. He also denied accusations of workplace misogyny.
Back to Fox, the company's stock fell after the news about Tucker Carlson wiping out $500 million in market value. The company is still facing another major defamation lawsuit from another voting system. Company Smartmatic is seeking $2.7 billion. Jury selection is set to begin in New York on Tuesday in a civil trial that accuses former President Donald Trump of sexual assault. E. Jean Carroll filed the suit against Trump. She alleges he sexually assaulted her in the dressing room of a luxury department store in the 1990s. Trump has denied the allegations. He claims he never met Carroll and he says she made up the story to sell books. Trump is not likely to attend the trial. Once the jury is seated, panel members will remain anonymous to protect them from any potential threats. 5 of the 6 suspects facing murder charges in connection with that deadly mass shooting at a Sweet 16 party in Alabama are set to appear in court Tuesday. The April 15th shooting in Dadeville left 4 people dead and 32 injured. The 6 suspects include 4 teenagers. So far, authorities have named 5 of them. They include 16-year-old Travis McCullough, 17-year-old Tyreek McCullough, 19-year-old Willie George Brown Jr., 20-year-old Latron Brown, and 20-year-old Wilson Lamar Hill Jr. An unnamed 15-year-old who was the 6th person to be arrested and charged will not be part of this hearing. All 6 suspects have been charged with 4 counts of reckless murder. The Aniah's Law hearing is set for 8 a.m. this morning. According to the Alabama Attorney General's office, Aniah's Law allows judges the discretion to deny bond to violent criminals. An American woman has been arrested in Sydney, Australia for carrying a 24-karat gold-plated handgun in her luggage on a flight from Los Angeles. Images of the handgun seen here were released by the Australian Border Force on Tuesday. They said the 28-year-old woman who arrived in Sydney over the weekend did not hold a permit to import or possess a firearm in Australia. Australia has some of the toughest rules on gun ownership, and it's illegal for a person to intentionally import firearms without prior approval. This carries a penalty of 10 years behind bars. The Department of Homeland Security is warning about domestic extremists attacking U.S. power stations with guns. According to a DHS bulletin released Monday, extremists are promoting and sharing tactics online about that and how to disable key components of the power grid. DHS says the information exchanges are likely to escalate the threat to U.S. infrastructure. The bulletin follows a flurry of recent attacks and vandalism. They include gunfire that knocked out power for tens of thousands of North Carolina residents last December. According to the FBI, some of the plotters have extreme ideologies about race or ethnicity and hope to create civil disorder. Most utilities in the U.S. run drills for how to handle such attacks. 2 separate American Airlines flights took an unexpected turn over the past few days as passengers looked out their windows and saw flames coming from the plane. No one was hurt in either incident, but as the Federal Aviation Administration investigates, a common problem which could be to blame for one of the incidents is coming to light. Emily Schmidt reports.
Mayday, mayday, mayday.
The words no one wants to hear from a cockpit came as an Ohio jogger heard a strange noise above him Sunday and saw from below what others saw and recorded out their windows.
There was extreme rumbling, vibrations, noise was deafening.
There was a lot of hand holding, a lot of people closing their eyes and trying to text their loved ones and so forth like that. So it was scary.
The engine's on fire.
3 days earlier, passengers on American Airlines Flight 2288, waiting to take off from Charlotte to Dallas-Fort Worth, saw something similar.
The pilots will get on and let us know what's going on.
The FAA is investigating a possible engine fire for that flight. Sunday's pilots quickly identified what they believe to be the mid-air problem.
We had a bird strike and an engine failure.
The FAA says there were more than 17,000 wildlife strikes with airplanes in 2022, with more happening every year. This collision happened on a Delta flight earlier this month.
From last year to this year, they're up a third, so it's really quite dramatic. And the trending up of the statistics actually tracks with the trending up of the bird populations.
Airports are working to scare birds away with flares and noises, relocating them and building runways away from wetlands. It's an attempt to keep nature in check and get passengers safely to their destinations. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
All right, Riley Fitzgerald is back with us now for another quick look at weather.
So we are looking at some beautiful conditions that are coming up. We're taking a look at the Columbia Point Skycam in Richland. The sun is up. It's looking beautiful. We'll have more on your conditions in just a few minutes.
Plus, a moose takes a trip to the movies. How one moose in Alaska managed to make it into this movie theater lobby.
Portion of Cap KVU sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
KFC's Wednesday Country Fried Steak Meal is a delicious value, complete with mashed potatoes with gravy, coleslaw, and a biscuit, all for the incredible price of just $5.99. Really, what's left to say? How about see you again next Wednesday? Country Fried Steak Meal just $5.99 only at KFC.
Whether you're looking for your next houseplant, getting those spring flowers in the ground, or planting your dream garden landscape, Queensgate Gardens is the place to go. Queensgate Gardens in Richland. Let's grow together.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So it's right here.
During our spring tire sale, we watch out for your wallet too. Save up to $175 when you buy select tires with financing. Les Schwab Tires.
Chevy Silverado and new Silverado HD. Choose your own path with the #1 best-selling retail full-size pickup and see where it takes you. Find new roads. It's Chevy truck season. Get 0% financing plus make no monthly payments for 90 days on all 2023 Silverado 1500 pickups or get $22.50 total cash allowance on a 2023 Silverado with a turbo high output engine. See your community Chevy dealers.
Save now with Bi-Mart's latest membership savings book, arriving exclusively in members' mailboxes this week. Our 16-page book has store-wide savings in every department. From lawn and garden essentials to patio needs, Bi-Mart has you covered for less. Plus, save on pantry essentials, pet supplies, and more. Save now with our latest savings book at Bi-Mart, your employee-owned membership store.
Your roof protects your home and family every day. Shouldn't it be the best roof possible? With Air Roofing, a family-owned business in Prosser, you'll see why our customer reviews speak for themselves. No job too small, big enough to take care of your roofing needs. Air Roofing, a company built on quality and reputation.
I remember when you get a whole meal for $5.
Yeah, it was last Tuesday.
Oh.
And every Tuesday at A&W, where single Papa Burger combos complete with fries and a root beer cost just $5. The good old days are here again. A complete meal for just $5. Tuesdays only at A&W.
It was an old rail line. Now it's one of the most awesome treks in America.
Tunnels and the trestles. Wow.
The Hiawatha Trail. Fly the Northwest. Cap KVU local news at 6 tonight.
Today at 11 after The View.
You've got a date with Access Daily.
Food, self-improvement, and of course, fun.
You don't know this.
Then at noon, ABC's GMA3.
You've got a date with Access Daily today at 11 after The View on Cap KVU.
It is 6:41. Welcome back. Parents of small children may know the book title, If You Take a Mouse to the Movies. In a real-life event mirroring literature, a moose recently decided to head into a theater.
Workers at the cinema in Kenai were surprised to see the animal walk right through the door and into the lobby at about 8 p.m. It happened after workers propped open a door to let the cool air in, but the moose wasn't interested in checking out the Super Mario Brothers movie.
No, instead it found some popcorn left near a trash can. The moose spent 5 minutes chowing down before workers coaxed it back outside. They say the moose was young and say they wouldn't have tried that if it was an adult.
That would be a long 5 minutes.
That's a long 5 minutes, and I don't know if they provide any kind of training for what happens if a moose walks into your business establishment.
It is Alaska.
Maybe they do. Maybe they have that kind of training.
So maybe. They said something about propping a door open to keep the cool air in, and I think that we're going to start needing to do that as well. I'll have your first alert forecast coming up. It's getting warm outside. We'll track the conditions for you.
And a museum in Bend, Oregon has a new exhibit, a real live bobcat kitten. That's next on Good Morning Northwest.
Time for a new roof? Let Eminent Roofing replace it with a product so good you'll never have to replace it again. Our roofs come with a limited lifetime warranty. Never replace your roof again.
With the rain and wind comes roof damage. Don't wait till it's an emergency. Call today to receive 0% financing on approved credit.
So if it's time for a new roof or siding, let Eminent Roofing replace it with our certified installers.
Because when it's all said and done, this is the sign you'll want in your yard.
Pure Filtration Products is your Inland Northwest air quality specialist. We offer filtration products for all your commercial, industrial, and manufacturing needs. From cooling towers to industrial dust collection systems, commercial buildings, schools, hospitals, or manufacturing facilities, we have you covered. Call today and schedule your free facility site evaluation. We'll send a certified air filter specialist to your site to evaluate your filter requirements. Call or click today. Pure Filtration Products.
Shelter. Out here, it's the most important thing. But the good thing is, my Ford F-150 provides enough power to keep working.
Get a great deal on an F-150, only at your local Ford dealer.
It's great to see ya. Come on down. Welcome to Sea Galley. Dinner tonight or the Shipwreck Lounge. May I suggest our surf and turf special, prime rib and crab.
Every 15 minutes, someone is involved in a semi-truck collision in the U.S. Whatever the cause, big trucks mean big crashes, resulting in serious, even fatal injuries, large medical bills, and loss of wages. If you've been injured in a crash with a big rig, call Abeta Nelson Injury Law today. We've handled the most big truck accidents in Central Washington over the last 40 years, recovering millions for our clients. Abeta Nelson, we take your injury personally.
Homeowners, Washington is moving to renewable power. Consider an investment in green energy. Rooftop solar with Solar Power Northwest, a true one-stop shop. Solar Power Northwest, a better way to solar.
GMA This Morning is just wow with Jude Law and Jim Gaffigan and Dolly Parton live.
It's so good.
Plus, a mystery guest is coming to GMA, and trust us, you're going to want to see this live on Good Morning America.
Your roof protects your home and family every day. Shouldn't it be the best roof possible? With Era Roofing, a family-owned business in Prosser, you'll see why our customer reviews speak for themselves. No job too small, big enough to take care of your roofing needs. Era Roofing, a company built on quality and reputation.
That sound. Wolves. Boy, they sound hungry.
Load up, wolves!
Good thing this Ford Explorer has Sync 3 technology. Keeps them entertained on the way to dinner.
Get a great deal on an Explorer, only at your local Ford dealer.
Live with Kelly and Mark today at 9 on Cap KView.
Now, Cap KView First Alert Weather.
Well, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. We are seeing some beautiful conditions outside the Columbia Point Skycam in Richland. It finally feels like spring is here and we're heating up throughout the rest of the week. Let's take a look at the full forecast. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Hope you're having an amazing day. We've been on a warming trend for the last couple of weeks now, and we're finally starting to see some of the results of that. It's a little bit windy today. As we get into those hot temps, those winds might be a little bit appreciated. For our futurecast, we're seeing just beautiful conditions throughout our Tuesday, barely even cloudy across our day today. Into Wednesday, we are seeing a little bit of cloud coverage, but there is definitely nothing to complain about for the next couple days in our areas. For our wind outlook, we are seeing just a little bit of wind staying around 10 degrees throughout the rest of our week, raising a little bit into our Sunday. Again, as our temperatures raise, we can definitely see them here on our temperature trend. We might appreciate those winds coming up. So we're staying around 70 degrees, which is actually our average. We've been seeing around 5 to 10 degrees below our average temps for the last couple weeks now, and we're finally getting to that point and definitely beyond it over the next couple days, definitely into our weekend. For our temperatures today, we are seeing around the upper 60s in the Yakima area. In the Mid-Columbia, we're staying around 70 degrees. And over in the Blues, we're staying in the mid-60s. Very nice across our conditions today. Definitely, they're going to be raising throughout the next couple days. For our temperatures tonight, we're seeing around 40s across all of our regions, just slightly cloudy as we get into tonight. For our 7-day forecast, around 69 degrees for Tuesday, staying in the upper 70s for the next couple days, and into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're seeing the 80-degree conditions. And a trend that we've been seeing for the last couple weeks is our Mondays, the start of our work weeks. Our temperatures drop down just a little bit. That's something we're seeing in Yakima. That's also something we're seeing in the Tri-Cities. Starting our Tuesday at 70 degrees, upper 70s for the next couple days, and into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the 80-degree conditions. It's going to start to feel like spring, but also kind of start to feel like summer by the weekend. Again, dropping into our Monday conditions. Again, our overnight lows are staying just a little bit chilly, so you might still need a jacket on the way out of the house, but you can definitely drop it by midday. Back to you.
The High Desert Museum in Bend, Oregon has a wild new exhibit, a live bobcat kitten. Visitors are just now getting a chance to see him. The 8-month-old bobcat has been at the museum since October. The kitten was found alone in a suburb of Portland. Fish and Wildlife officials tried to reunite him with his mother, but he was found alone again in the same area, so they took him to the museum. The bobcat was just 3 pounds when he arrived. Now he weighs more than 15 pounds. Officials haven't selected a name for him yet, but they plan to have a fundraiser in August to sell the rights to name him.
They're an interesting animal because they're pretty cryptic. People don't see them that often when you're out hiking. It's pretty special to see a wild bobcat. So it's nice to have one in the exhibit that people can come and learn about. And he's got a huge personality. He's very active, very rambunctious, very confident. Yeah, and he has a great time playing in this enclosure and the other enclosures where he gets time to hang out.
We will be right back with the morning sprint and a final check on your forecast, but first a look at what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a new warning about ATM scams.
We believe this is a nationwide crime trend.
The surveillance footage shows alleged criminals in action at the ATM. The suspect on the left drops money on the ground, tapping the targeted customer to get his attention, and as soon as he turns, the second suspect quickly steps over, pulling the victim's bank card out of the ATM and, according to police, replacing it with a dummy card. Police say those suspects later withdrew thousands from that man's account. The NYPD telling Good Morning America this is not an isolated incident.
The perpetrators are coming from out of the state and in most cases out of the country and coming here, traveling here with the specific intention of finding victims.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have more on how this scam works, plus the expert tips to keep you and your money safe. With your GMA First Look, I'm Trevor Ault, ABC News, New York.
Dancing is everything. Soccer is the best.
But her moderate to severe eczema could make it hard for her.
My skin was so itchy and my outfit was uncomfortable.
Now, my skin's not as itchy.
Now, we're staying ahead of her eczema.
There's a power inside all of us to live our passion, and Dupixent works on the inside to help heal your skin from within. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema, so they can have clearer skin and less itch. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor.
Healing from within is a wonderful thing.
Ask your child's eczema specialist how Dupixent can help heal their skin from within.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time right now is 6:51. We're going to get to Riley's local forecast in a moment, but first a look at this morning's top stories. Washington state lawmakers failed to pass a new drug possession law before the session ended Sunday, leaving the state with a stopgap measure that expires on July 1st. Without a fix, that would leave drug possession rules in the hands of cities and counties, meaning the penalty for being caught with drugs could be very different depending on which side of the county line you fall on. And the local jurisdictions would have to come up with the money to pay for drug testing usually covered by the state.
The stopgap bill that gave us the 3 stops and then maybe go to jail will be gone as of 1st of July. And so it'll be up to individual cities and counties to make their own ordinances.
Lawmakers say they'll likely start negotiating again in a couple of days. And if they can come up with a new bill, the governor could call a special session for another vote. This morning, Governor Inslee is expected to sign a series of historic gun control bills into law. These are proposals that the governor has requested in some cases for years. House Bill 1240 is the assault weapons ban. Then there's Senate Bill 5078, which would make it easier for victims of violence to sue gun makers and sellers. And the governor is also expected to sign the controversial House Bill 1143, which would require safety training and a 10-day waiting period before you can buy a gun. That's expected later this morning at 10 o'clock. A 24-year-old woman is in jail after Yakima police say she killed a man at an apartment complex Sunday. Police say they got a call about an unresponsive man at an apartment on North 9th Street and found 26-year-old Hector Felix dead. 3 women were reportedly there during the incident and called 911, but the 24-year-old was the one arrested. Investigators say they're still looking into the details, but it doesn't appear to be a case of domestic violence.
They indicated that there had been an argument at the apartment, which resulted in what appears as Mr. Felix being strangled by a garment, possibly a hoodie.
The 24-year-old is being held in the Yakima County Jail and is facing charges of second-degree murder and second-degree assault. A teenager was found dead on Benton County Railroad tracks early yesterday morning. According to the Benton County Sheriff's Office, a train conductor found a body Monday morning off of Badger Road and 823 Prairie Southeast in Benton County. The Benton County coroner confirmed that it was 19-year-old Colette Tips of Kennewick. Preliminary reports say she was struck by an earlier train, though the cause of death is still under investigation. The Washington State Court of Appeals Division 3 heard oral arguments outside of its regular Spokane courtroom during a community visit to Pasco. The public was invited to Chiawana High School Monday morning to ask questions about the role of the Court of Appeals during Q&A sessions. Chiawana High School Principal Jaime Morales says this was the school's first time bringing in the judges, but it won't be the last.
And they reached out to Pasco School District and we said, absolutely, we'd love to host them and have them here and participate, give an opportunity for our kids to see this process. And being that it's a little bit different court system than what we're historically used to knowing with the jury and everything, how the appeal court works.
These on-location Q&As were suspended in April 2020, but now that the pandemic restrictions are over, they've been back at a few Eastern and Central Washington high schools. Division 3 of the Washington State Court of Appeals have visited Eisenhower High School in Yakima, North Central High School in Spokane, and now Chiawana High School in Pasco. A former Walla Walla doctor will have to pay more than $1 million in settlements over accusations that he put patients through neurosurgery that they didn't need. The U.S. Attorney's Office says between 2013 and 2018, Jason Dreyer and another doctor allegedly billed Medicare, Medicaid, and other federal health care programs for procedures that didn't need to happen. The settlement also bans him from working with federal health care programs for at least 9 years. First responders had to use saws to rescue a person and a dog from a crash on Road 68 in Pasco Monday morning. First responders told us one driver cut in front of the other, and trying to avoid a crash, the second driver flipped their vehicle onto its side. We're told there were no serious injuries from the crash, and crews were able to get the road back open pretty quickly.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. Thanks so much for making us a part of your morning. We're seeing this warming trend that's been happening for the last couple weeks, and we're finally seeing the results of it. We're also seeing some windy conditions over this week, but they'll definitely help to alleviate the hot temps that are definitely on the way later this week. For our Futurecast, it is just looking beautiful. There is nothing happening across our Futurecast for today, and into tomorrow we're seeing a little bit of cloud coverage make its way out in the morning and through the afternoon, but it is definitely nothing to complain about. We're just seeing some beautiful conditions, and we're actually staying around our averages for this area. We'll take a look at temps for today. Upper 60s for the Yakima area. In the Mid-Columbia, we're seeing around 70 degrees, and in the Blues, we're staying around the mid-60s. And again, I said we're staying around our averages. Our average for this time of year is 70 degrees, and we're seeing that we're not only around that, but we're definitely exceeding it over the next couple days into the 80-degree temperatures for this weekend. We're seeing spring temperatures and definitely even into some summer temperatures. We're just seeing a beautiful week that's coming ahead. Have a great Tuesday.
Thank you so much for joining us on Good Morning Northwest. GMA is next. Cap KVUE Local News is back tonight at 5, and you can always find the latest updates on our website, yaktrynews.com. Have a great morning.